This is Dr. Willie Jolly and...
Good evening. This is Dee Taylor-Jolley.
My beautiful bride, Dee Taylor-Jolley. How long have we been married?
A long time.
Almost 36 years. And we dated 4 years before that. So I was a pup! But I decided to...
It was the best decision I ever made. Reluctantly.
She definitely made it reluctantly. Oh Lord, did she make it reluctantly. So I had to do my best sales pitch.
But now we do things together.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Because it's better together.
It's better together. First, I want to greet everybody, welcome you, all our Instagram folks. Hey. And all our...
I like the hearts. How nice.
Nice. Thank y'all. Thank you. And it's not our anniversary, by the way. No, it's not our anniversary. Our anniversary...
He just talks about the fact that he's been married
forever.
Longer than he's been alive, if that's possible.
So we've been married. Our anniversary is actually June. You know what? Let me do it. What's our anniversary?
June 28th.
Hallelujah! Because for many years, she did not remember the anniversary. I remembered the anniversation.
I was traumatized. That whole day experience was traumatizing. I could not. Yes, I don't have one of those.
For those who don't know, it's in the book. It's not in the book.
What?
How I talked you into getting married.
I don't remember.
It's on the live CD. The story is on the live CD, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, live recording.
We went out to lunch and came back married.
And I was talking fast. That was not her. She didn't even know what was going to happen. Had no idea. So I got in a weak moment because she had said for a long time, I'm not marrying you. No, I'm not marrying you. You live with your mama.
We should do something on that. People say, oh, he's a mama's boy. Oh, it was such a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Because you loved your mama.
I loved my mama.
And you treated your mama with great respect and a lot of love. So that was definitely a benefit for me.
Yes, well, so anyway.
And then he did live with his mama.
I lived with my mama.
And we lived in the attic. Oh my God.
For a year. But tell them why. Why a year?
Because you were cheap and you didn't want her to live in an apartment. And the deal was, if you live with me and my mom was attic for a year, I promise we'll buy a house. And he kept his word. That's the short.
A year from the day I made that promise, you got married. We were in this house, and over these last 30.
So there are sacrifices. There are sacrifices to be made. But his mama was wonderful. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful, loving environment. So it was not a problem at all.
Wow, great.
And we were able to save money, which is what you need for your disaster plan that we're going to talk about related to goals. How about that?
So welcome everybody.
Hey, Miss Olympia.
Let's give a shout out to all our friends who are joining us. Donna Shorts Robinson, Sharice Crawford, God bless you. Glad to have you. French and Linda Thompson, Olympia. Great marriage planner. Linda Kazera, they're in Kissimmee, they're in Disney World.
I bet it's warm down there.
It's nice and warm.
Send some of that sun up here.
And then on Instagram, we got Mayor Dr. Wood, Dr. John Garcia. We got a bunch of folks. Now, start a watch party. Everybody on Facebook Live or start a watch party. If you're catching us on YouTube, just make sure you subscribe, like it, share it, and subscribe. And please, tell Lottie, Dottie, and everybody what's going on Monday nights, 9 o'clock, the Jollies. Happily Married Monday, and do the same on Instagram. For those who don't know, maybe just by chance or just happen to join us, we're the authors of the book Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, and it's 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. You can get a free chapter from the book. The biggest chapter is the communication chapter, which is one of the reasons people break up, and we give that chapter away free on the website jollymarriage.com, JOLLEY marriage.com. Go get your free chapter if you don't have the book. And then if you get there, you can get the book. Get 2 copies. We always recommend getting 2 copies, one for you and one for your significant other. Read it together. It will bless your marriage. We've seen so many marriages healed and improved because of that. So jollymarriage.com. Also, while we got it, it's comeback time. Happy New Year. This is the first show of the new year. Happy
Yes.
New Year. So we hope you all had a wonderful,
Safe,
healthy holiday season.
uneventful.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, all the above. What a beautiful time it was, but it was different. It was odd. It was weird.
Oh, and we have to share what we did differently.
Yeah, yeah. We did a lot differently.
Well, specifically in terms of sharing our cards, because we don't send out a traditional, we send out a calendar, a yearly calendar.
Yeah.
And because we have so many to send, we did something different. We actually went out and hand delivered. And you're like, oh my God, hand delivered.
Well, we did in our neighborhood, just in our neighborhood.
Just in our neighborhood.
Just in our neighborhood.
Because some people in our area will share cookies. They'll leave a gift of cookies. And we get those every year. And they'll ring the doorbell and say, oh, we left you cookies as a Christmas gift.
But we don't go to the door. We just talk through the intercom. But we don't. So that's what we did. We would go to a person's house, somebody we haven't seen in 10 months.
We took cards.
We took the cards. We rang the doorbell, and then we went back to the car.
I would he drove. I was the delivery person, and we would take the card, put it in their box or wherever their mail slot was. Then on my way back, Willie would
either call them, but I'd go up to the door, ring the doorbell, leave it, and run back down to the car. And either they came to the door or they spoke through the door. You know,
what?
Yeah. So anyway, just glad everybody's here.
So that was a different way of communicating. That was our outing during the holiday, to actually hand deliver cards in our area of people that we knew and we just wanted to say hello to. And if they came to the door,
we waved at them.
We simply waved. And to note that with one of the last ones, that's why you don't want to open the door. You want to put that stuff in there and leave before they answer the door, because one of our dear friends that we left cards for, and then Willie called to say Dee left the card at the door, said, you know what, guys, my sister and I have COVID. I could have passed out.
Passed out.
Could have passed out.
So they are in the
And
house with COVID.
we had just talked to them the week before, you know, just general, just what's going on, year in. Both have COVID.
Yep.
But it's not affecting their lungs. It just affects everybody so differently.
Yeah, they both said they both were tired and shivers and chills and can't smell or can't taste.
But it did not affect your breathing.
Praise
that
God.
was a blessing, because they're all over 65, right?
Yeah. So anyway, welcome to the Happily Married Money with the Jollies. Happy New Year. We're glad to have you, and thank you for sharing this. I was honored Saturday night to get the American Motivation American Society of Motivation Lifetime Achievement Award. And the other person who got the award was my dear friend, Dr. Tony Alexander, best-selling author, world-class speaker, Hall of Fame speaker.
What? I'm sure that
the
many
Platinum
people
Rule.
Don't know that.
He wrote the Platinum Rule, the book, The Platinum Rule. Do unto others as they would have you do unto them. The golden rule is do unto others as you would have them do unto yourself. But there is, what would you want them to do? How would they want to be treated? He said, in this time of inclusiveness and diversity, we cannot make an assumption that we know how somebody else wants to be treated unless we ask.
So that's communication.
Communication.
That's one of the three things that are vital to the development of any relationship. Is the communication.
So how do you want to be treated?
So you really have to ask.
Or you have to be willing to talk.
And sometimes people don't readily tell you what's on their heart. So it's the asking, it's the studying of the people, and it's spending time so that you can learn with observation also.
So that's, speaking of, let's talk about one quick and I know you're going to answer this. We get letters. We have information coming in. Remember, you can send us letters at info@williejolly.com. Your concern, a question.
A letter, we suggest you wrote it down and you mailed it.
All right, no. An email, send your concerns. So here was the concern. A woman is married to a wonderful man, and he is loving, kind, and take care. He's a good provider. The problem is that he will not do anything out of the norm or out of traditional sexual activity. It has to be the, what do they call it? The missionary position. And she says, I want some other activity. And she says it's not happening, and she doesn't know what to do. So I know my wife is going to answer that question, and without.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Because I haven't thought about it.
Oh, I know what you would say. You have told other people when you say y'all got to talk. You got to tell him what you want. I've heard you say that to women. You got to tell him how you want to be.
It is, first of all.
Oops, God, sorry.
First of all, it's complicated. When I say it's complicated, if he is a traditionalist, okay, he only wants to do the original missionary position. Of course, you need to be able to communicate with him, but that really does. You probably didn't get there overnight.
No. So
that's probably how it started, and it continued. And very comfortable with that. So you just can't jump and say, you know what, I want to be on top. That's just not gonna happen. I'm like, shock, it caused a coronary. So you have to work at gently getting him out of his comfort zone.
It's conditioning, nicely conditioning, little by little, like you did with me.
Oh, you were already wild. Okay, so it's communication, and communication sounds easy, but it's not. Especially if you carry on everything in your own head and don't say it to other people. Like I told you guys, I had to learn how to express all the crazy things that I was thinking, but express it in a way that you wouldn't think I was actually as weird as I am. So that's maturity. That I am able to mull things over and figure out a way, and then figuring out how to communicate with you was studying you. And learning the words that I could use that would get you to understand what I was feeling, and then to encourage you to go along with what I wanted. You know, some things work and some things don't, but I've figured out how to manage it over the years.
And she manages it well. Let me tell you.
And then some things I just can't get. You know, you decide when to hold them, when to fold them, and when to walk away. You're like, that doesn't work. I've tried all these years. He's still stubborn. I'm just gonna move on.
That usually has to do with not anything sexual. That has to do with some neat thing she got, some neat place she wants me to put stuff, and I purposely put it in a place where she doesn't want. I like to see her get the. Because she is very anal. Everything has to be in a certain place.
But I've learned over the years, being your friend, as well as your lover and your wife and the like, I had to work at that.
Yes.
And I think perhaps that's the lesson that we want to convey. You have to work at the communicating with your spouse, and with the assumption that it's important to you.
Right.
And for some people, they're like, I just really don't care, and I'm waiting for COVID to be over, and I'm going to get a divorce.
So Olympia says you have to understand your man's love language. Exactly. So you know him and you study them. We study each other. And then the other thing is...
And Olympia is saying understand his love language. That goes back to Gary Chapman's book, which is like 20-some years old. Understanding the 5 love languages. How does your mate like to be loved? And if you ask, some of them can't tell you, right?
Right. But I always asked you.
But you don't always cooperate and get. He likes gifts. I like time and attention. See, right there. Gifts, time, attention.
Service.
Yeah.
I serve you.
Oh my goodness.
I serve you. What did I bring you today? Did I bring you your dinner when you were sitting over here? It was heating up. Did I bring it to you? Yes or no? Did
We
I?
did.
All right.
We're vegan. We're fasting 21 days at our church, and he is a little off kilter because he's no meat. Let's
All
get
right,
to the
look,
lesson.
one more thing. We want to make sure you know that if you're not on my newsletter list, you might have missed a great opportunity. Our annual goal setting seminar that we have had just tremendous responses and success stories from. We are not doing it this year because we did such a just a blessed one last year, and we recorded it. It was simulcast or webcast, and we did that not knowing there was going to be a pandemic, only because people in Australia and New Zealand, South Africa said we want to attend, but we can't. Can you find a way? So we found a way to make it available for them, and now it is available for everybody to take advantage of. And this week, it is $100 off the registration price. So it's usually $197 for the 4-hour class that you can access. It is now $100 off just this week. So I would encourage everybody to go to wjspeaks.com/goals. Somebody put that in the chat for me. wjspeaks.com/goals. GOALS. And y'all take advantage of it. It's a great class where I walk you step by step on how to set compelling, empowering, life-changing goals.
Okay, we're down to less than 20 minutes. Okay.
All right.
Our topic is you do, they don't. What to do when only one of you wants to plan for the future. And planning for the future is really goal setting.
Goal setting, but we had to work through that because my wife plans almost everything. Everything is planned, almost everything.
I wish it were. It's not.
Well, pretty much. And I am very spontaneous.
Fly by the seat of your pants.
Woo! Fly by the seat of my pants.
But some things had to change because we're in business.
We're in business. That's right.
It's not like we're working for somebody else. So
That's
it's
right.
not like you just get a paycheck every 2 weeks or once a month. So we had to plan to roll out the business.
Yeah. But part of that was too, we did not know she knew about planning. I did not know about the power of planning till I read the book Think and Grow Rich. And that book gave me real ideas about planning, about goal setting, about masterminding, about how to create income, wealth, and start the generational wealth. I Think and Grow Rich. In fact, I don't know how many of you have read that book. How many have read that book?
We mentioned it before, but you give that away.
I would give that away to everybody.
A free gift.
I would give you a gift.
How to think for 2021.
Right.
Think and grow rich. Whatever it is you want, you have to think of it first.
Well, Scripture says, "As a man thinketh, so as a man believeth in his heart, so as he is." And you must think and speak what it is you want to achieve. That will help to solidify. That's why you can get vision boards and so forth. So if you go to wjspeaks.com/gift, wjspeaks.com/gift, you get a digital copy of Think and Grow Rich, my gift to you. I was one of the 53 thought leaders. In fact, Phil Taylor, who was the one who organized that, called me today.
Oh, really?
And talked about, he said, that CD I did with Jeffrey Gitomer and Ed Foreman, he said, one of the most powerful CDs there were 53 of us and they did 17 CDs. He said one of the most powerful, and he highly recommended people access it. But go to wjspeaks.com/.
Okay, so back to, what do? You want to plan.
Yeah.
Hopefully that means writing your goals down. Where are we going to go? What do I want to accomplish for this new year? Bye 2020. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
What do I want to focus on? What do you want to focus on? And what do we need to focus on together? So what do you do? It's like,
what do you do if one person doesn't want to do it? And you know what? We've had people say, one of us, and sometimes his wife, sometimes his husband, who are not interested. They just don't want to do it.
I say, you have to explain the benefits of it. You can't beat somebody across.
That's what I want to get to. Write this one down, folks. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. Let me say it again. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. So if you want to get your significant other to do something, nagging and arguing and hollering is not the best way to get it done.
Well, it's a sure way for it not to happen at all.
Ooh, it's a sure way to not happen.
So if there's no benefit for your partner, why would you want to plan? If they don't see a benefit, so it goes back to studying your mate to identify some areas that might excite them,
Yeah.
that might help them to want to plan, right? So by planning, you can say, you know what, I can encourage you.
Yeah.
If I know what your plans are, and we're not talking about couples yet, let's just say individually, how can you have couples plans if you don't know where you're going as an individual? But if we know where we're each going, then we can exchange information and I can encourage you.
Let me tell you something Damon John said the other day. Um, we were on a session with him, and I'm having him back on my XM show soon.
You say we're Clubhouse. That was
Yeah, we're at Clubhouse. And that's a new social media application. And Damon said something. He said when he learned about goal setting, and then he and his wife started goal setting together. He said it was one of the most um,
you said romantic,
seductive, and just moving experiences that they were working together on where they were going. He said it was just wonderful. And we want to say that, yep, sometimes you have to encourage people to help them to see how it benefits them. You know, people are motivated by one or two reasons: inspiration or desperation. It's the carrot or the stick. And when you find out that they will change as a result of being motivated, and there's a psychological process in the motivation, then what we do is, I mean, let's talk about, I'll give you an example. When we were, when I first started, when I first got Think and Grow Rich, and I got a cassette tape that went with it called A Stranger's Secret. And Dee was not into self development per se. She particularly wasn't into being an entrepreneur. Oh my God, no. Oh Lord, no. She didn't want no part of being an entrepreneur. But I slowly worked on her. Just worked on her and gave her cassette, gave her the book. And I never said, you need this. You know, I tell people, if you want to change somebody's thinking, this book is the best one. It only takes a minute to change your life.
So quickly, what he did was to stroke your ego.
Oh, let me finish the thought. This book is the one because it's easy. But you never go to your mate and say, hey, you need this book. You need this book. No, that's not the way to do it. You say, I read this book. I thought it was fantastic, but I want your opinion. That's what I did with her. Want your opinion on that audio.
So you need to stroke each other's egos.
Yeah.
How can you stroke each other's egos if you don't know what that ego is and what puffs up their chest and what makes them feel good? You should know. You married to him, right?
You should know.
But sometimes we don't, because we can drift apart. We become so focused on our own areas that we forget that we're not in it by ourselves.
Or another piece in the book, in the marriage book, you don't have a date night. And your life is consumed by your children, by your job,
by the bills,
or
no job,
or whatever. Yeah, it's consumed. You don't have a date night. Big mistake. Big mistake. You should have a date night every week in your calendar. Put it on your schedule every week.
So having a date night
gives you time
allows you an opportunity to just talk about anything other than the bills,
and the kids. And the kids. You cannot talk about the bill, particularly the bills and the kids. That's specifically because the kids will suck up. Look, children will suck up every ounce of air in your life.
So you get an opportunity to learn about what's new, what's going on in your world when you're away from each other. What are you thinking?
What are your goals? What are your dreams?
How can I support you? So you can't plan if you don't know what's important to the other person.
Right. Right.
And sometimes with everything that's going on during the day. Now we work together. He's in one office, but I'm in another. But we work
Period. Let's put it.
together.
Hold up. Now, this is the woman who did not want to be an entrepreneur, who I slowly, inch by inch, little by little, and she now runs the company. She's an entrepreneur's entrepreneur because it was little by little. What can you say?
It's a necessity. Okay, let me make that clear. It's a necessity. Okay, so you can't support each other if you don't know where each other actually is psychologically,
I got
emotionally.
So that's it. You got a dose of D because we got about 4 minutes.
Okay.
All right, dose of D.
Okay, a dose of D.
Because dose of D, some of y'all have asked about a dose of D, a time with women. We got to do it. We got to do it.
Okay, a dose of D. It's not necessarily for, but this is what's on my mind.
It's not for
right
women,
now.
but we're going to have a seminar for women.
Okay, and here it is in your face. You got to have a disaster plan. Less than half of the folks in our own church don't even have a will. Okay, these are things we don't want to talk about. But you know what? People are dying. Passing away, whatever kind of fancy name you want, they're leaving here, and we are leaving a mess for the people that we care about. Like we said, some dear friends dropped a card in the slide. They're home only to discover the two sisters had COVID. The one from our church where the father died because his son drove to visit his dad, his best friend, several hours away. Came back after Thanksgiving. He felt ill. He talked to his dad. His dad said he felt ill. The young man recovered. His dad died. So they had pray for me because how am I going to live with that? And the thing that I discovered today, Larry King, I didn't know that. You already knew that. Larry King, 87, has COVID, has been in a Los Angeles hospital for a week. And his 3 surviving children, because he had he's got like 2 families. His younger kids can't not go visit him. His 2 older kids had already passed away, not from COVID, but had already passed away. Isn't that something? And all of this has happened in the last couple of days, so I've become aware of it. A friend's brother, that was the last thing you told me.
Our friend's brother's son.
32 years old.
Yeah, a good friend of mine, his brother, his son.
Committed suicide. But before he committed suicide, he killed his 2 children, 6 and 8. In
Columbus, Ohio. This last week, if you live in the Columbus,
so
Ohio
I'm saying,
area,
you know
what?
We must talk to each other. And don't be ashamed to say, I am just down. This is depressing. I need help.
Yeah, do not be ashamed.
No.
Look, one of the things I want to say to people is this: listen carefully. This is one of the most challenging times, well, the most challenging time, I think, that we as a world have seen.
Since 1918 and the pandemic of 1918.
And with that challenge, it is stressful. We don't know why people are overwhelmed or how they are dealing with it. So here's what we're saying to people. If you feel overwhelmed, do not feel ashamed or disgraced to ask for help. Get counseling. If you broke your arm, you go to the doctor, get your arm set. If you broke your leg, you go to the doctor. But many of us have a broken heart, a broken spirit, and we try and heal it ourselves. Go get some help because this is critical.
That's part of disaster planning.
And then get the disaster plan. Then get your will. We are telling people we got one of the big points of this holiday season for us. We got our will and our trust. First time we've ever had a trust that we are planning for 100 years from now. That some child, hopefully, will be able to continue to have revenues come from that trust.
From the hard work that we're putting in right now. So my position is, don't let your work be in vain. Leave a legacy by preparing to pass it on.
Amen. So our time is up. Remember that we want you to, go to wjspeaks.com/gift and wjspeaks.com/gift. Get to Think and Grow Rich. Read the book. Then free. That's absolutely free. Go to wjspeaks.com/goals and register for the goal setting seminar. It's $100 off this week. It's $100 off just this week. And finally, we want you to get the book. Go to jollymarriage.com, get the free chapter, but also get 2 copies of the book, one for you and one for your significant other, or bless somebody with it who you know their marriage is struggling. Bless them. All right. That it?
That's it.
We got to go. We want to thank you for your time. This is Dr. Willie Jolly.
And this is Dee, Taylor-Jolley.
And we want to say, Jolly out.
Jolly out.
God bless you. Bye-bye.